I sat in traffic behind a truck. I was kind of annoyed. Couldn't get around this truck. Wanted to move. I kept trying to get over. Didn't happen. And then I looked up because my angel said, look up. And on the back of the truck was written something to the effect of, you are a divine part of helping the wonderful things in the universe unfold. God has chosen you. And it's not by coincidence, because you are that important. That was my angel's way of reminding me of who my authentic self was, reminding me that I have a purpose. And that doesn't just happen to me. It happens to you as well. It's just time to tune into that. And that message isn't just for me, guys. That message is what I was supposed to bring to you. You're not here by accident. You're not here by happenstance. There's something divine, a spark of divinity in you that will help people in your life grow and that will help catapult you to the next level of your life, to a different stratosphere. The next card is blocks are lifted. I love this, guys. What a way to go. Previous obstacles that came from fear are now being lifted away. Fear is an interesting, crippling thing. And when we're living in fear and not living from love, we often shrink down, like I talked about. We back up and we say, I don't know if this is the right thing for me to do. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. I don't know if this marriage is the right place for me to be. And I do believe we all have discernment when we hear things. And we can make shifts that are needed. But sometimes you've been feeling blocked. And so this week, just know that the blocks are lifted, that you're going to be hearing clearly because you're going to be asking for what you want from an authentic place. That authentic place is your guidance. It's your inner GPS, and it takes you to where you want to be. So we're going to make sure that you get in tune with that this week and pay attention to the signs. And the next card I pulled is Heavenly Signs, and that's the last card from Gabriel's Gab. But I want to tell you about these heavenly signs. They come in all forms. I had one today, like I told you, about coming in and seeing that on the back of the truck and thinking, where did that come from? Where did that come from? That is so freaky, I thought, even though this is the work that I do. A handwritten message scrolled out on a truck, and it was a handyman's truck. That was just for me in that moment when I was worried and concerned and wondering what the future would hold. That's a heavenly sign. Those happen to you guys all the time. You just aren't looking up. Have you been seeing repetitions of numbers like 111 or 333 and wondering, am I going crazy? No, you are not. This is a universal sign of waking up that is shared with people internationally as they begin to come into alignment with their higher selves and they begin to evolve. Each of those numbers has a spiritual resonance, okay? So each of those numbers means something. And through the magic of our dear sweet friend Google, you can find out what they mean. There are some fantastic sites that you can go to. One of my favorites is Joanne's Sacred Scribe. That's a messenger. Numbers. You might look up and see a license plate or pass by a billboard every day and see 77777 and think, that's interesting. They sure chose a lot of the same numbers. It's not a coincidence you're waking up. For some people that are connected, more in tune with nature, they wake up through animals, animal totems, insect totems. All these things come to them. Those 3 bluebirds, which I actually saw yesterday, and they're about communication. That was a message for me, that are outside of your window on the tree. That's not a coincidence. The 2 cranes that present, sandhill cranes that present themselves when you've been worried about your marriage. That's not a coincidence, guys. Seeing a fox or a rabbit that stops and actually looks at you, or a turtle that comes across your path. These are all divine messages and heavenly signs that are letting you know that We are always communicating. All of us are in communication, us with the animals, us with the earth, us with our angels, us with the numbers. And at first it may seem a little bit overwhelming, but throughout the course of this show, we'll take the time to get to figure out together what these things mean. So this week, pay attention to your heavenly signs. They're all around you. Your angels are always talking. I mentioned in the beginning of the show that I do readings, and I just want to know if you've ever found yourself at the intersection of opportunity and hesitation. Are you in need of unbiased, empathetic guidance as you traverse your life's unknowns? Together, we can decipher the surreal landscape of your dream world, or let us identify some limiting patterns of behavior that have had you stagnant for far too long. Perhaps we'll delve into the inner workings of your mind and body connection and unearth those pesky physical ailments that crop up into your daily life. These readings that I do are called Radiant Angel Readings of Energy. It's a mouthful, so I've shortened it. If you would like a rare session, that is a Radiant Angel Reading of Energy, you can contact me at 321-216-5747. Again, that's 321-216-5747. Or email me at M as in Monette, B as in boy, N as in Nancy, A as in apple, T as in Thomas, T as in Thomas, A as in apple at Yahoo. Again, that's MBNATTA at yahoo.com. And we can begin our work. I want you to tune in next week as we unpack practical tip number 2, numero dos, which is listening to that still small voice and taking the leap of faith. Come back and find out how Scott and his family put practical tip number 2 to work for them as they manifested a life-shifting move. So many interesting things with this story with my friend Scott, and I think you're really going to enjoy him. He has so much to share. So come back next week and let's get to know Scott and figure out how he manifested a new life, the life of his dreams. I want to thank you guys if you're still listening and you're not just my mom. Thank you for your time today, friends. Thank you. Sincerely thank you for connecting and sharing your energy with me. If this resonated with you, then join us next week as we continue to evolve together. See you next week.